Hey guys, Tyler Mahoney here, TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com. Super excited to be sitting here with David McCormick. We're up in Lee Summit, and I'm getting the ins and outs of the tools of the trade, and he's going to show us some really cool stuff on suspended fishing.
Right, yeah, we're going to talk about suspended fishing, keeping in mind that it doesn't necessarily matter where the boat is in depth. Your target is the big tree, and the fish is laying up in the tree. He's probably right at or below the thermocline line. We thought yesterday it was around 5 to 6, maybe as deep as 7 feet. So you pitch the worm into the top of the tree, or maybe even to the other side of the tree. You know, it might just have a couple forks sticking up, and you wanted to actually lay the worm on the tree. So when you pitch it out there, you just pull off 2 or 3 or 4 pulls and then engage the reel. Don't leave it, because sometimes it's you think it's going to stop falling, and they've already got it and they're swimming off with it. So, but the fish are laying up in the top of the tree. It's a lot of guys will throw a spinnerbait too. I'm not real good at the spinnerbait style of it, but I know Dave talks about in the fall pulling those suspend fish out of cedar trees, keeping his spinnerbait up high. So the big worm is a big thing for me, I would say. Obviously, probably a brush hog, anything I can rig Texas. I'm even going to try next week with a speed worm. I've not tried it. We used it in Florida. It's a worm with a tail. Maybe it'll make a little sound. I haven't ever tried it, so I thought that would be something interesting. The other technique, these are both Dave Ryan baits. Now I'll be sure I'm clear on that. That Balsa B3 is a black market B3 of Dave's, and that is a color that I'm not even sure he offers, but maybe he does. That's some Diet Dew splatter, I believe is what we call that. I'm not sure. This is a DB3 that I had him change the color on. I don't know that he actually produces a big build crankbait very much anymore. I think he has in the past, but this one is a real Bagley's, but it is his paint job, and it's got a canary yellow belly. But so the techniques are the same, but the square bill, you throw it into the tree, into the Y's of the trees. You'll see this arm sticking up. You got to believe the fish is right there, and you want the crankbait to make contact with the wood, right? So that you get a deflection. That's what makes the fish bite. This bigger build crankbait takes a little more finesse and you have to be a little crazier to throw it, but sometimes the response is a lot better. It's I've got a bait that's probably designed to run about 10 feet or 12 feet, but since I put it on such heavy line, now it won't run much over 6 feet. I've got it on big game 20-pound line, so the diameter of the big game is really thick, and that actually controls the depth, or keeps it. I do that so I can knock the crankbait off when it gets hung, which is a very common occurrence, because you're going to throw it into the Y. The tree's sticking up like this, you're going to throw the crankbait past the Y and draw it up through there, and it's going to feel like it's going to get hung up, but when it breaks free and you pause it, that's the moment, that's when they bite it. So crashing the crankbait and dropping the worm. Those are the two really good suspend techniques that probably not a lot of guys want me to tell you, but that's how it is.
Now, does this pattern take hold at certain times of the year?
It's really a summertime gig, and we haven't seen it for a long time, because Truman has been so full of water. I mean, I don't know if people realize how much water has come through Truman Lake in, say, just the last 3 seasons, maybe 4. It's hard for me to remember when the last time we got to see these many trees. I mean, there are literally trees in certain areas that prevent me from getting to the bank. I mean, I literally can't get my boat through there. So
we were talking about that last night. We went from record high last year to just one extreme to the next.
That's Truman for you. But so the suspended fishing doesn't happen very often. And we found it to happen at other places, like Lake of the Ozarks, when it's really calm, and you end up swimming things around the docks, basically. It's not the same technique. With the worm, it's kind of more of a combat style fishing. You need to have as big a line, and as fast a reel and as big a pole as you can stand, because it's they get hung up in those trees. And if he gets down 2 or 3 or 4 branches by the time you realize it and come tight on it, it's not always pretty.
Yeah, it can be a little hairy. I imagine.
Yes.